Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. And today my guest is DJ Sheny. Been trying to make this happen. First COVID and then all that. But anyway, thanks for coming in today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so there's so many things I want to touch on, but let's just rewind to the beginning. Like, how did the whole DJ thing start for you?
How did DJing start for me? That's a good question. Because I don't even know myself. The way I like to look at it is basically music chose me. I've been in music for the longest time. Like a lot of people don't know. Like part of my history is a lot of music actually. I used to play the drums. I used to be a member of an orchestra. I used to play the flute. I used to, I've been music basically from time. Like some of my buddies from high school would tell you that they for some reason would have seen me definitely do something in music, but maybe not necessarily be a DJ, but something musically, related, something related to music.
And then, like, the orchestra, that one's actually news for me. How did that happen?
That was actually high school. So in high school, I was part of an orchestra. Yeah.
And then you played, was that where you played the drum or the flutes?
For that, I played the flute.
Okay.
I had a very close buddy of mine. I could have played the drums as well, but I had a really close buddy of mine that was better, at the drums, and also like I was kind of really good at the flute at the time. So it didn't make sense for me to, want to go back on the drums, when there's someone there and like there's something else that I'm also good at, right? So, I guess they say teamwork, makes the dream work. So.
Indeed. Yeah. So,
but,
flute, orchestra, wow. And like then, what was your taste in music? Because I find like with DJing, the music you've loved kind of just follows you around.
My taste in music, I mean, I love Afrobeats right from time. Like, talk about Fela, talk about the days of, P Square.
Oh my God.
Like I'm that kid that would come back home after school and stuff, and the first thing I'm putting on TV is Channel O or like.
Oh
MTV
my
days,
God! Yeah, bringing up some memories. There was a channel called Flip. I can't remember, but yeah, Channel O is great.
Yeah.
MTV Base.
MTV Base. Yeah. I used to watch MTV Base, and like. I loved Afrobeats, but I was more, I guess, like every typical African kid back then, because of what was on mainstream media, you'd be drawn more towards the hip hop culture and things like that, right? So I listened to like a lot of hip hop, and even when I first started DJing, that was actually what I used to play. I used to play more hip hop than Afrobeats,
When did that switch happen?
I wouldn't say really a switch necessarily happened because I got to a point where I got more comfortable and it was like, okay, I'm done having to play mainstream, what everyone else is playing, type of thing. You'd hardly hear DJs play Afrobeats, especially here in Canada, So it was like, okay, I'm done doing this. I want to do me, what I want to do, which was more Afrobeats.
Afrobeat is beautiful. You mentioned Fela, and I gotta say, I remember personally for me, like in high school, every Friday, for some reason, my friends and I will just get together and we'll just friggin' sing. And then I remember the first time we went to the shrine.
The funniest thing, I've never been to the shrine yet.
It's nuts. It's insane.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
Yeah, it's nuts. And the thing is, I was the good kid thing, and then I just met this interesting friends I had, but the experience was wonderful. But I gotta say, the music is alive. I don't know, like that's how I like to me, Afrobeat music is just it's like a living thing, you know? Cause like and then when artists like Burna Boy
Oh
or some
yeah.
artists take Afrobeat and then add their
Make their
splices, like
own like
yeah,
twist to it. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just jumped back into my time machine, but now I'm back here. So and then you're listening to this thing like, okay, I guess is it a question of like putting music on your laptop? And when was the point where it's like, okay, I'm going to like play
Be a
music for
DJ.
people to listen to? Yeah.
Um, it. I want to say the actual birth was because okay, so I was in uni, and I had just come back from home from Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria, by the way, which I think everybody knows that. But I had just come back, and it was three of my colleagues' birthday. You know, they had their birthday around the same time, so they decided to do the party.
Together.
You know, actually, that was when it actually started. You know,
Oh.
but prior to that, there was two of my buddies' birthdays that they had. They were on campus at the time. I was staying off campus, so they decided to do it in my apartment. They had booked the DJ and everything. The DJ was late.
Oh my God. Wait, before you answer that, why is it that musicians are always late?
See,
Like, I, oh,
that honestly, I plead the fifth on that. I plead the fifth.
I'm like, you know, if you're dealing with artists, you know, actors are kind of late, but when it comes to people that do music, man, like if I'm playing with a musician, like, okay, I want this person to come at 4, I'm gonna be like, yeah, the show is starting at 3 or 2:30, you know? Because you know this guy is just gonna rock up our phone and be like, this thing is
I mean, to be fair though, there's something that people say. They say people that are always late don't plan to be late, but then they have the higher margin of success or something like that. I don't know
Oh.
exactly how they put it, so I stick with that.
Anyway, so the
Basically.
DJ just didn't
But
came up
yeah,
late.
so the DJ was late, and there was people already in my apartment, you know. So I literally just picked up my laptop. I had like this 3-disc changer like setup, you know, before we had the whole subwoofers and you know, well, I mean there was a sub. I mean, before we had all this whole like sound bars type of like home theater system, right? The older you have the 3-piece.
I know that guy.
You know.
He comes out
It
and
comes
then
out and you
there's
put the
right,
you know,
right,
but then
right.
it had an auxiliary
Yep.
jack.
Yep.
So I just like connected that to my laptop.
Yeah.
I was literally on like multiple YouTube pages, you know, and
Oh.
like switching, like playing song here, take the volume down, go to the next tab, you know, little tricks.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah,
you know, at the
yeah,
end of the
yeah.
day, and like people were just like, you seem to be good at this. I'm like, well, I mean, I know music, but you know, being a DJ, you know, and which is what I tell a lot of people. Knowing music is one thing, but being a DJ is totally different. You know, they have the art of, you know, beat matching, you know, mixing, you know, and things like that. You know, knowing what to play at the right time.
No more. Because you know sometimes like you are playing a song and the next like you kind of want to take the audience on a journey, you know?
Exactly. You want to make sure that, you know, for every set, you want to take them on a journey, which is what a lot of people forget about being a DJ, you know. And things like that, you can't rush it. You can't teach it, you know. Some people are born naturally with it. Some people, you know, they have to go through experience, you know, for them to learn, you know, certain things like that, you know. But yeah, so I did that, it worked, and then I gone to Nigeria for a bit, came back, you know, for a break, and then my 3 other friends had a birthday, you know, and at this time I'd already been saving up for a little controller, you know, so I had just bought my controller just came in, you know, my buddies had a birthday, and I did that, and it was like from there.
They were
it
like,
just,
and the name, like the name just come up.
Sheny.
Yeah.
Sheny was actually given to me by a friend.
Oh,
You
okay.
know, it was like that was after the house party where the DJ came late.
Mm,
You know, it was like we're just hanging out in my living room. You know, I used to live in a townhouse, and because a lot of my other colleagues in school at the time stayed on campus, so
mm,
if they needed a place to escape, they come to my place. You know, we play like literally card games and things like that, right?
mm-hmm.
Weekends and stuff. And we're just cracking jokes, and you know,
The
like
name just came
it
up.
was a lady. She was like, so if you're actually gonna take this serious, what would be your name? And I'm like, I don't know, you know. And then names just started flying in the air, and you know, and then she said Sheny, and then my other buddy, which now plays football for the Hamilton Tigers, Kato, shout out K, um, just took it, and like he used to call me Bosco, like Sheny Bosco, and like it just stuck, and like you know. I was like, okay, Sheny, it is, you know, and the
Yeah.
name was kind of catchy as well, you know,
It stands out, like,
yeah. So
Anyway, so you play this party for your friends, and at what point for you, because you were just hanging out, playing music, listening to
yeah,
your friends, but at what point did it become like, okay, wait, there's something here for you?
It was when I would say it was when I started getting called to come play for like events, like weddings, like because I was never really a club DJ. I was more of a events and weddings, you know, birthdays, you know, house parties type of DJ, you know.
Mm,
And back then, I was just like, okay, you know what, just put some gas in my car. I'm good to
mm,
go, you know,
mm-hmm.
type of thing, you know. And yeah, so when it became more solidified, when I started getting calls for like weddings, the first wedding I actually did blew my mind. Like the first big wedding I did blew my mind because it
What
was
about
actually
it?
it was actually for the Murphys. I don't know
Huh?
if you know about the Murphys.
I think I know of the family, but
Yeah, it was for one of their son.
oh wow.
Yeah, he was. I mean, we were both in the same uni, so it was. I mean, pretty easy to get that.
Right,
But
right. But it
I
was a
felt, I
big
felt,
thing,
I
yeah.
felt like, oh, these people.
Yeah, yeah.
Who am I? You know, these people can afford whatever DJ they want to
Right,
bring. You
right,
know, and
right.
I was like, okay. And it was actually myself and another DJ. There
Mm,
was two of us that they booked to play. You know,
mm.
I was like, okay, cool.
Okay, so when it comes to things like this, right? Someone books you to play, a month or whatever ahead. How much work goes into the set you're going to play, or do you ever just like kind of wing it on the day?
I so that's the thing. Weddings is a little bit different, right? Because weddings you have to know the clientele,
Mm,
right? Because it's different from a club night,
mm,
right? Club nights, people are already coming out ready to party. You know, for a wedding, you have the grammars that they just want to come for the wedding. You know, you will
mm,
have to make sure you're able to get them from a state of sitting down to standing up and wanting to dance and move. You
mm.
know, so it comes with a little bit of planning as well, because you have to understand, you know, what clientele is possibly going to be there. You know, you have
Mm-hmm.
to be ready for every and anything. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
so there is a little bit of planning that goes more into, you know, preparing for a wedding set compared
Mm,
to a club set, right?
mm.
Yeah.
So, like now, I guess, what controller do you use, and is there any, I guess, different? I'm guessing there has to be different apart
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
names.
Yeah. There is like, I mean, controllers. For me personally, I don't like to look at like what type of controller you're using or, you know, things like that. The main thing that matters to me is, can I get the job done? You know,
Oh,
so if it's kind of like being a doctor. If you're a doctor, you don't necessarily need to have state of the art, you
yeah.
know,
As long as
equipment. As long as, you know, you can be thrown in a remote area and you're able to, you know, use what you have there to
right,
work,
right, right.
right? So I mean, there are people that like to go with, you know, names and things like that, you know. That's all fine and dandy. I know a lot of DJs that use virtual DJ, the software, and they're killing it, like on the
Mm,
big stages, you know. And personally, I use Serato. I started with virtual DJ, but Serato works better for me. Some people use Tractor. There's a bunch of, you know, softwares that you can use, and like they have matching hardwares, that you
Oh, so
use.
Serato, you have the thingy,
Yeah,
the
so the controllers I use, Serato basically works best, at least in my opinion, with Pioneer hardwares.
oh, okay.
So I use Pioneer products right now.
Right, right, right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then with the events, you started doing the events. Let's talk about the awards and how did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the universe was just telling me, Sheny, you've been doing a good job.
Yeah.
Let's just reward you, type of thing. That's the way I look at it. But I think the one that really blew my mind the most was the top 20 Canadian DJs. That was during the pandemic in 2020, and that was Canada wide. And apparently, that was going on for about 2 3 months before I knew about it. So it was like, I've been stopped basically. It's like I was being watched,
Yeah.
by all of Canada, because
Right.
it was public votes, and it was like, wow, that was when it hit me. Like it was like, oh, okay, I think we're really, really, up there, out there, So, and then with things like that, I had to make sure that, now I have to be more strategic in how I approach things. I can't just live life at the,
Eyes on you.
it's like, okay, people are watching,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
And then I think another one that really blew my mind was when I got reposted by Wizkid. It was, what song was that? Ginger. If you want to make a ginger, give me the cocoa. Basically, the day that song came, I think I was one of the first DJs that played it. And there was this girl that was dancing to it, and there was a guy that was recording, like taking Snapchat, and the girl was dancing, but like the audio was the song I was playing. Right? I think it was a Halloween party,
Okay.
and the like I was doing a freestyle on the spot mix on it, and like the girl danced like in synchrony to
The beat.
to the beat, and like posted it and then tagged me, and I was like, I immediately I messaged him. I'm like, yo, I'm still in this. And I
Yes.
took it, I posted it and tagged Wizkid, and like he just reposted it, and I was like,
Straight up.
wow, okay,
Yeah.
I did not see that coming,
Yeah.
but okay, But yeah, those were the two things that I think, made me realize, okay, like I need to be more serious with this, if
I don't know what you mean by more serious, because like you're playing shows. What do you mean by more
I
serious now?
mean, initially it was all fun and games, right? Because it was all
Right.
just, okay, the max I'll tell you to give me is just put gas in my tank,
Gotcha,
type of thing.
gotcha,
And
gotcha.
now, now I'm like, okay, now I have to get registered. Now I have to make sure that, what I'm doing is right, because now I don't want to, be in situations where I have to break rules, or I'm breaking, anything, copyrights, things like that. Which up to today, like when I deal with certain bookings and stuff, and I mention certain things, like people look at it like, well, I might be wrong, but I get the impression that some people are like, why is this guy so technical? This is someone that,
Just go and play
just
music
come
on
play
my show,
music, type of
yeah.
thing. But like, they don't understand, but I'm beginning to realize that, there's certain things that I can do, there's certain things that I cannot do
What are some
anymore.
of the things you mentioned that will have them kind of like, what is going on here?
Okay. One that I have had to deal with before was when someone had misspelt my name.
Right.
Right? Like I don't remember what they had put on the flyer, and without knowing that that name actually was registered for someone else as a DJ as well. And then the person comes
Oh,
messaging me, is
what's up?
like,
I'm not playing this show.
yo,
Yeah.
like, what's going on? And I'm
Right.
like, oh, I'm sorry, it was a total, thankfully that person was not the type to want to go all legal and stuff, because that's something that you can sleep and wake up one day and just see yourself in debt.
Yeah.
It's like,
Nobody
yeah,
wants that.
nobody
Nobody
wants that,
wants that.
especially right now with the current
Oh
situation
my
of
god,
things.
yeah, nobody wants that.
That's yeah.
So I guess what are some of the things you do to prepare when you know you're gonna play a set?
I like to drink a cup of hot tea.
I
It's
didn't see that one coming. Like
yeah,
tea, why?
yeah. So I kind of have like a mini. I wouldn't call it a routine because I don't necessarily do it every single time,
Mm-hmm.
but it helps like calm my nerves down a little bit. So I do that in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the gigs is usually at nighttime, so I'll
Mm-hmm.
do that in the morning. Like I'm a lover of tea, peppermint tea. I'm good.
Okay.
I can have up to 10 cups in a day, and like I would not even be counting it. Like
Right,
I
right,
would not
right.
even know. But yeah. So I'll do that in the morning, and then if it's a club night, then most people know I drink Hennessy.
Okay.
So I'll have like a couple shots of that. That just gets me in the mood. Like, okay, let's party type
Mm-hmm.
of thing. And yeah, well, Hennessy better pay me for this. I'm coming for my bag next. But anyways, yeah. Yeah. So I do that. Sometimes if depending on the event, if there's no Hennessy, then I'll have like rum or like whatever alcohol. I'm not a vodka person.
Why not? Vodka will get you, it's hot though.
No vodka, please.
Okay.
No vodka, please.
Yeah.
But no, typically I like my drinks dark.
Mm.
If it's like more of a classy event, then I'll have like maybe a glass of red wine type of
Red,
thing.
of
So,
course.
but yeah, and yeah, every other thing is usually God's grace.
Just go there and get the people
Just
dancing
go
and
there
stuff.
and just
Right now, what is the one song you know that, okay, if this comes on, fuck, they're gonna dance.
right now. I mean, it'll be a crime if I don't give honor to whom honor is due. Anything by Ashake right now is, I'll
Okay.
say like Ashake and Burna Boy Sungba, the remix. Right now that's on fire. Ashake and DJ Spinall as well, Palazzo.
Hmm.
That's also another song that's on fire right now.
Yeah.
I mean, right now it's hard to point at one. Like there's so
Mm.
many.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Like great music coming
There's
out
so
from.
yeah, there's so
Okay.
many. Like
Okay.
Africa right now, Africa is on fire. I
Mm.
mean, Africa has always been on fire, but
It's just
like
people are
now
like
it's like
knowing now,
yeah, now it's like
understanding what is going.
understanding is like
Yeah, people like Whiskey, Burna Boy, and just like Burna Boy's album is just crazy.
yeah,
He's had sold out shows everywhere it's gone. Like, I'm happy for you.
yeah.
But do you know my song of his that is still my top song?
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my top.
Yeah,
Like,
it's an
the
anthem.
top song, the video is sick. It's just, I really
Yeah.
love that. Anyway, so,
Yeah.
are you ever gonna, with this background, you had in music, being an orchestra and all these things, are you ever gonna like actually make your own, like produce songs and stuff like that?
I don't know.
Mm.
Let's just put it at that. I don't know because there's a lot that comes with going into production, right? Like like producing this, for example. Like there's a lot that goes into it. So right now, I don't think I have enough time to be as committed as I would like to be if I want to go into something like that. But I'm open to it. If the opportunity comes, maybe I get some downtime or I get busy with something else and I'm not DJing as much, then I could do that, on the side type of thing. Yeah, then
Yo.
why not?
I can't wait for that when he comes because I'm sure that beats you're gonna come up with is gonna be fire. So I want to say thank you for coming on the show, but
Thank you
before
for
you
having
go
me.
though, I need to ask you this. What are some plans you have for the next couple of years in the works?
In the works. There's a lot of things in the works. I'd say that there's a lot of things in the works. the best way to keep up to date with what I'm doing is obviously follow my Instagram page.
What's your Instagram?
At DJ_Sheny, so
Nice.
SHENY.
Spell the name right.
Yes, spell it
Spell the
right.
name right.
No two ends. No two ends. Just one.
Yeah.
We keep it simple, simple and straight. At DJ_Sheny, you can have me on Instagram, Snapchat, same thing. Snapchat is usually banned. Please don't take things serious. I cannot say that enough. Because sometimes I post things there and people think I'm throwing shades at them or I'm throwing shade at somebody else. See, I'm an entertainer. Yeah?
Right.
I'm supposed to just entertain.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to shake the table, type of thing, So that's what I do, So but that's the best way to know what I'm working on. Right now, I would say Canada Day in Halifax, definitely. I'll be playing downtown at the Loft. So, so yeah, make sure.
That's
make
the
sure you
rich
come
people's place, though.
I'm dead. Say rich people. See, I'm not biased. Rich.
Okay,
Bro.
that's the people that love entertainment, eh?
All I know is it's gonna be sick.
Yeah,
It's gonna be sick. And then July is my birthday. Is my birth month. So, watch out. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch
Oh
out for
wow,
that.
okay. So be sure to follow the Instagram. Man,
watch out for
DJ
that.
Sheny, thanks for coming to the
Thanks for
podcast
having
today.
me.
This has been amazing. I know it took a while to happen, but super grateful you're here. Next time we bring you, you have to play something for me. But today I understand, it's fine. I get it.
Next time.
Okay.
Next
Thank
time.
you so much.
Thanks for having me.